Sometimes it feels cold and you feel all alone. But hold on, better days are coming. Till the tears fall down.
We are here with Miraculous Moments Productions Sounds of Worship Tour. I'm Dujuan Thomas, and I'm here with the one, the only MaKenzie Thomas. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you are amazing. Loved you in the voice. Beautiful voice. Everybody across America loves you. I can say that. And I remember back whenever your video, like you posted a Facebook video of you singing, and that one was like the first time I ever seen you. That was you, and it went viral.
Probably, yeah. That was probably the Change Me video.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful voice, beautiful voice.
Thanks.
When did you get your start in music, and like what inspired you to start singing?
I've been singing since I was like 2 or 3 years old in church. My mama used to sing in church, and the story is that like one day I just like got up. I was barefoot because it was a little community church, like 20 people in it. And I got up and I was like, I could do that. And I held the hymnal, apparently upside down. I don't know. I sang I'll Fly Away. And then from there it just kind of snowballed.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yep.
So I do remember hearing when you were on the Terrell show that you kind of loved heavy metal music. So how did you get from like where did that come into play?
My dad, he was a drummer all throughout school. He went to SCPA in Cincinnati for it. And one of the styles of music that he loved to listen to was heavy metal. Specifically like instrumental heavy metal music, and so that's something that I grew up listening to because I would be in the car with him and that's what he'd be playing, and I just grew fond of it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what's up. So in your career and in your music, what artists do you look up to?
I love so many different artists. I mean, I love everybody from like Jasmine Sullivan and Brandy to Celine Dion to Tamala Mann, like so many different, like just a wide variety of musicians and singers.
What is one of your favorite gospel songs? And can we get a little taste of it?
My favorite song, period, not even just gospel, it is a gospel song, but my favorite song in the world is Alabaster Box by CeCe Winans. And yeah, it's just amazing. The lyrics are just like gorgeous, and yeah, CeCe's anointed, so.
How's it go? I've never heard it.
Oh boy. Now you're putting me on the spot. Oh, how does it go? Look, it's my favorite song, but like now that I've come to pour my praise on him like oil from Mary's alabaster box. Don't be angry if I wash his feet with my tears and dry them with my hair. My hair. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Beautiful. Beautiful voice. My next question was going to be, what's your favorite non-gospel song? So.
Well, I could probably, okay. Favorite non-gospel, that changes on a weekly basis. At this point in time, it's probably a toss-up between Freedom Rings by Brandy and Spend My Life With You, that's Mia and Eric Benet and somebody else. I don't remember the name. But
Okay, that's what's up. So if you could work or collab with any gospel artist, who would you want to collab with? Or non-gospel artist?
Gospel artist, probably CeCe Winans. I love her voice. Yeah, and then non-gospel, honestly, probably Brandy.
Brandy, huh?
Yeah,
That's
she's a vocal Bible.
Have you met either one of them?
No,
Okay.
no. But
What?
BB, CeCe's brother, follows me on Instagram, so
Really?
that's cool.
You got to get that connection. You
I
got to
know.
network.
I know, I'm not good with it.
Oh,
I'm awkward.
Really?
Yeah.
So speaking on gospel, non-gospel, so what, the Christian community's kind of been split on Kanye West coming out with his album and everything. And, it's kind of died down now, but like, where would you stand with that? Like,
well, I love that first song on the album. I think it's amazing. And then I actually love the song that he did with Ty Dolla $ign. I don't know. I'm just like, let him do what he wants to, honestly. I mean, I'm not going to be one to speak on whether or not it's genuine because I don't know his heart there. But if it does, bring people to God, then I'm for it, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know,
dope.
you know.
So what about Snoop Dogg? Let's throw it back to that.
I love Snoop Dogg
Yeah.
though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know enough to form a solid opinion on anything like that, for real.
So going on to whenever you start going viral and getting your fame and everything, what was going through your head seeing like views and all that stuff coming up? Like, what was that like for you?
It was pretty cool. It was different, unexpected. Cause like when you get on like a show like The Voice or you have a video go viral, I don't know. I guess the first thing on your mind, or at least the first thing on my mind, was not, you know, how many followers am I gonna get out of it. The first thing on my mind was, oh my goodness, there's gonna be a lot of people seeing this. So it was more, I guess, like nerve-wracking knowing that a bunch of people were seeing different things or like different performances and stuff. One of the biggest things is that I was just trying to remember to stay grounded, because I have had some friends not do that and now their life is kind of like spiraling a little bit, and yeah, that's the most important thing in my opinion, is just to remain humble.
I love what you said, because you know, in my career, what I've been doing, you know, that's what my family, my grandmother, because I was raised in the church as well, is like, don't ever forget where you come from. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what led you to being on The Voice? Like, how did that whole process start up?
I just posted a video one day on YouTube of me singing this song, Redbone.
Daylight, I wake up feeling like you won't play right. I used to know, but now it just don't feel right. It made me put away my pride.
And then a couple weeks later, a casting agent from the show had emailed me asking me if I wanted to audition. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? Gave it a try. It didn't work out well the first time. I got laryngitis like 2 days before the audition, so it had really set in by the time my audition was there, or it was time for it. And yeah, it didn't work out. And then they called me to see if I wanted to come back and do it the next season, and I was like, okay, well, why not? One more try.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it can't hurt. I was like, I'm young, it's whatever.
Right.
And it worked out the next time, so yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's good. What was it like whenever, you know, the judge, you know, J Hood, she turned around? Like, what went through your mind at that exact moment? I would have been up there singing, I probably would have dropped the mic and just, you know, so what was going through your head right when she turned around?
I saw it and then was like, I don't know, I guess I didn't believe it for real, and I didn't really want to know if it was true until after the performance was over, so I kind of just didn't look at her the whole time. I kind of closed my eyes for pretty much the rest of the performance.
So
I was just in shock.
yeah,
So.
I could believe it. So on the show, like, what was it like? Because, you know, we only see whenever y'all are performing. So what was the, you know, what did y'all do behind the scenes or like throughout the weeks before you would shoot the show?
Well, as far as like hanging out with the other contestants, we sang a lot, hung out a lot, rehearsed. You do fittings and all sorts of stuff. Studio sessions, depending on how far along in the show you got. You were always pretty much doing something. You might have like a day off once a week wherein somebody else just had to be in and do something else, and like they just didn't have time for you, so you had to do your thing tomorrow or something. But there would be nights where we would be going into the studio to start recording at 3 a.m. after having not slept for like 24 hours.
Seriously?
It's crazy, but it was worth it. It was really fun.
Definitely. So did you ever get to see like Jennifer Hudson? Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I did a charity event in my hometown shortly after the show, Shoes for Sharing. It was like a festival that had been in town, and I organized a charity event to go along with it, like a talent show where admission was like a pair of shoes. And Jennifer donated like $1,500 to it. This is way after the fact, like after the show was over. And she was like, yo, buy some shoes with it. And yeah, we ended up getting like easily over 2,000 pairs of shoes to donate to like the schools in my town, because it's like really rural and not wealthy at all. That's a pretty poor town. So she's been really involved even up to this point. I still talk to her from time to time.
if you could rank the judges from which one you wanted to turn around the most to least.
Jennifer, Kelly, Blake, Adam.
Really? Okay, why Adam at the bottom?
I don't like Adam.
Really? Oh, okay. Did you ever get to like talk to the other judges while you were?
A little bit here and there. Kelly showed up at a couple of my performances, rehearsals. Not performances. She was there at all the performances, obviously, because she had to be. She showed up at a couple of my rehearsals. Blake probably said a word or two backstage a couple times, but nothing extensive. And Adam usually just kind of walked by, so.
Really? Was he one of those types? Like...
It's not my business.
Right. So if you could have had any celebrity judge be one of the judges, who would you pick?
Well, I love that Jennifer was a judge because I've always loved her music. I don't know. I do wish, the season before that I auditioned on that I didn't make it, Alicia Keys was a judge, and I would have loved to have had her as a judge because she's got some hits.
Right.
So.
She's great. Would you ever consider like going on to another auditioning show like Sunday's Best or anything?
I don't know if I want to go on to another show. I'm kind of liking where I'm at right now because I'm performing full time. Get to travel a lot, and I don't know. I'm kind of toying with the idea of when it starts to die down and I stop getting quite as many bookings in the next year or two, maybe, kind of stopping it and going back to a normal job and not doing this full time. Because I'm in a relationship now, and it's like, I want to settle down and have a family, because being a mom is the number one goal for me, not being a singer. This is something I'm kind of doing and trying to save as much and secure a future as best as I can, and this is kind of how I'm doing that at the moment, and it's working out. So I'm gonna keep doing it until I get tired of it, I guess.
I got you. And that was gonna kind of lead into my next question. What your future is looking like in music and everything. Do you ever plan on coming out with any more albums or coming out with albums?
Well, I'll always do music. I'll always continue. It'll always be a big part of my life. I just released an album in December, and I'm gonna start working on a gospel album here soon, probably next month. Actually, I think I've got to go down maybe the end of this month. Yeah, the end of this month is when I'll start working on that. So I'll continue to release music and perform here and there, but eventually I want to be a mom. That's number one for me. So.
And I've seen, this might be a little personal, so you don't got to answer if you don't want to, but I've seen on social media, you date a black man, right? So being from rural Kentucky, what has that been like? Is there any weird looks or anything? Because I'm, Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. No, my boyfriend, his name is Jacques, and he's everything. He's everything. But yeah, no, I get some looks here and there. My family's super accepting. My grandparents even so. My whole family loves him to death. Part of the reason I think they're so accepting is because they've never seen it in color like that. My little brother's adopted and he's biracial. And so, we've had him since he was 5 days old. Yeah, 5 days old. So when he came into my life, the skin color wasn't an issue at all. It wasn't a thing. And they just like him, and I like him because he's kind and he's caring and he's well spoken, and he's I don't know, he's a great human being. And that's been hard because not everybody is capable of seeing that because of that barrier, that prejudice that's there. It's tough. Just the other day we went to Kroger's or Kroger. Is it Kroger or Kroger's? I think it's Kroger's.
I don't even know, and I live here, so.
I don't know, whatever. We went to the grocery store the other day, and I was wiping something off his forehead, did the whole get it off his forehead before we walked in the store. And some couple walked by and, said some stuff. And, I just looked at him and was like, all right, hillbillies, and smiled and walked away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not, I think it affects him a little bit more than it does me because I'm the type of person I genuinely don't care. It's whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's somebody that has to face that on a daily basis, so I could understand how it would take a bigger toll on him. I don't know. I guess the main thing is I just want to be there to support him the way that he supports me, because he knows that okay. Look, I could talk about him forever. The main thing with him, his main concern when we got into a relationship was that him being black was going to affect my career. And I told him, I was like, well, if somebody has a problem with the fact that you're black and that makes them unfollow me, then I don't want their follow anyway,
Yeah.
And there have been several people that have since then, messaged me or commented, calling me a culture vulture and a whole bunch of stuff, saying that, I think I'm black because I'm in a relationship with a black man and I sing gospel music and that I shouldn't be doing this stuff. And at the end of the day, it's just ignorance. And ignorance is just, blindness, honestly. It's just, lack of knowledge. And I don't know. It's not been easy,
Yeah.
but it's still been worth it.
Definitely.
Yeah. But when you do receive a large amount of it, or you keep hearing the same things back and back and back, like, you know, over and over again, it can kind of get a little frustrating. And I'm the type of person that kind of wants to clap back a little bit. But I've learned to kind of just, you know, hold my tongue and let them, you know, live their truth and I'll live mine. Like, I don't know. It's not easy, but it's not as hard as you would think.
Definitely.
You just got to ignore it.
Yeah. So, off from the negatives onto the positives.
Yes.
What's one of the most positive things you've gotten out of your career?
Well, the money's a positive.
Yeah.
I won't lie. It's not the most important thing, but being able to now have my own company, wherein I cut myself a check when I go do performances and stuff, like the way it's all set up. My mom has helped me out with that because she used to be a banker. You know, shout out to Mom, Teresa. Hey, she's been really helpful. But being able to pay myself bi-weekly and you know, be as secure as I am. You know, I paid my student loans off. Yes, I'm getting close to paying my car off. You know, dug myself out of some debt. I had some pretty bad credit card debt.
Oh man.
Pretty bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's been a big benefit. And then just kind of having my eyes opened and getting new experiences and opportunities. Like I get to see Lena Birdmiles perform tonight, which is crazy because she's amazing.
Right.
She's like literally just a scale, every note. Traveling, that's cool too. I've been a lot of places that I hadn't been before, so.
What advice could you give to anybody out there that wants to start a career in singing or anything like that?
Well, practice makes perfect. That's a cliche, but it's a very true one. You know, I sing constantly, and that's the only reason that I'm good at it, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, like my mama can sing and my dad can sing, so it kind of, you know, parts of it are passed down. But the fact that I put in as much practice and I study music constantly, like you can ask anybody, if I'm not talking to you, sometimes even if I am talking to you, probably got headphones in, listening to music, trying to learn new things. So the number one thing in my opinion is never think that you know all there is to know, because you don't. And never think that you can't like you've reached your peak, because like once you feel that way, you're going to have, and then you're not going to get anywhere else. So that and persistence. That's kind of also cliched, because like that was my thing on the show. Oh, she came back, she's trying again, and like really played that up. Because it wasn't as big a deal to me, honestly, as it was to them, but they had to have a story of some kind, because it is a reality television show. But yeah, persistence is actually a good thing to have. So that's yeah.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much for your answers.
Yes.
This has been MaKenzie Thomas, and wonderful voice, beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And I thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks. Sometimes it feels cold and you feel all alone, but hold on, better days are coming. It can get rough in this world. I know it ain't easy, but hang on in there. I know better days are coming.
Amazing, amazing. Take two. Got done filming my interview, got my assistant with me. My interview with MaKenzie Thomas, it was amazing. She was a great person, wasn't she? She was great.
She was so nice and genuine.
And she sang amazing.